Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I just want to say thank you for dropping by. Please come again. First of all, before we get into today's video, I have a little exercise that I'm doing. It's inspired and motivated by the last video that I did, which was on self-love and self-appreciation. And guess what I did today? Today I went to the shops and I bought myself a PS chocolate. Not just any PS chocolate. This PS chocolate is written, "You're awesome," right here. Honestly, I flipped through a lot of chocolates looking for the one that was written "I'm sorry." Unfortunately, the one that was written "I'm sorry" was long, so I found the one which says "You're awesome." You know, first of all, why was I looking for a PS which was written "I'm sorry"? I wanted to apologize to myself. I wanted to take time to say, Quincy, I apologize. I'm sorry that sometimes I make rational decisions, irrational decisions. Sometimes I jump into conclusion and hurt myself at the end, and it makes me appreciate myself less, you know. So when I was talking about self-love, I just realized that I have not given myself so much attention and so much love um that I actually need. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry, Kwete. I'm apologizing to myself on behalf of me. It sounds weird, but for the first time I looked at a chocolate bar. I didn't think, if I had a boyfriend, I'd get him "You're awesome, I love you." You know, I thought about myself and I was like, man, I need to apologize to myself because I don't think for myself on a regular like this. But today I decided to stick with "I'm awesome" because hey man. Yes, I think I'm a pretty cool human being, and I have not been seeing it, and I've not been appreciating it. So I just wanted to say, hey Huite, ma'am, you're awesome. All right, let's get into today's video. So today's video, I'm just going to be talking about a few things that I learned from being a teacher or working in the teaching profession. I was never really into teaching, but funny thing is, back in primary school, when we came back from school, when the other kids would have these long sticks and we'd be beating the bush like like we're practicing, you know, like now that my teacher begin together, you didn't do your homework, like we just be beating these trees and these bushes and pretending that we're teachers. For some reason, we thought that being a teacher was just about beating kids. Because even now, my primary school students, they used to say, I'm going to be a teacher. Hey, I'm going to beat them. I'm going to beat the children. Like, okay, being a teacher is not all about disciplining. It's not all about beating kids, honestly. I think most of us are missing the point there. There is a whole lot that goes into being a teacher. So that was me. I was this girl who didn't really want anything to do with teaching. I didn't want anything to do with kids because of my fears. And then it so happened that now a brief journey of how God qualified me and prepared me to be a teacher. It was not the beating of the bushes. God actually said, "Yo." Okay, he didn't say it. But yes. So what happened was what had happened was I got baptized into this church, And then I learned about mission work and I loved it. I was crazy about mission work. I went to so many mission camps that at some point there was such little manpower. There wasn't so many people, and we had to spread ourselves across to make sure that we meet every need, that we have at such camps, because we'd have a tent where we're teaching the adults about health, we'd have a tent where we're attending to the kids, and then we'd have a tent where we are actually preaching and sharing from the word of God. So at one point, at one camp, there was nobody to teach the kids. And guess who was there? Yep, this girl. And then I had to take over. It was something that I wasn't used to, but luckily and thankfully, there was someone to help me, guide me through, and there was so much material that was helping me. And now I remember the Veda mission. I remember the mission at Borolong. There's so many missions that I went to. I don't remember all of them, but those are the encounters, the recent missions that I had, and the encounters that I had with kids that I remember so clearly. And I found myself being so comfortable around kids and being myself so much. And I found that, you know what, I actually love being a kid. I love being childlike. It's honestly a safe place for me, and I love it. And I love it when I'm with kids and they feel like we're the same age and we're not afraid of each other. We can laugh, we can get embarrassed. It's fine to make a mistake, it's fine to be silly, but it's best to respect each other. While they are with you, when you are at that level and you're teaching them at that level, it's a beautiful thing, it's a beautiful experience. So there I was teaching at these missions, and then when I came back to my church, I tell them the stories, so excited. And they were like, oh, okay, so we found a teacher. Yeah, I found a teacher for the young ones. And then for the first time I was like, ugh. I tried to run away from it, but I'm like, you know what, this is me just being a Jonah. So let me just stick to the path that has been chosen for me and do that. So I started teaching the kids at my church, and my heart was white. Like, my heart was just white, and I loved it and I enjoyed it. So fast forward, I finished my school and I'm unemployed for a very long time. I started applying everywhere and anywhere, and even applied to schools even when I didn't qualify. But I got picked, and I was gonna teach at a primary school. Started teaching at a primary school. Man, oh man, was I afraid. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know how it's gonna be in a professional environment teaching kids, because I'm used to playing with kids, and my relationship with teachers as a student, from when I remember, they used to be very strict. They used to be like, they had the straight faces, and they didn't dance with us, they didn't do such things. And for me, I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to dancing with kids, and to playing with kids, to reciting the Bible with kids, to singing with the kids. I love singing. I can't do it very well, but I love it. That's what I was looking for. And I was afraid, what if I mess up? But it was just a whole totally different experience. And the funny thing is that I also came in again with the mindset that when kids are being naughty, when kids are making noise, when kids are annoying you, you have to punish them so that they can give you respect. Sometimes it's not even about that kids should fear you. You just want kids to give you respect, to be afraid of you. But but you learn that these kids are actually entrusted to you, to your care, and what you want to do is just help them in the process of getting knowledge and education. You also want to help them to develop them personally, their personalities. You want to attend to their mental, spiritual, physical health, you know. That's something that I had to learn also, that as much as I love playing with kids and whatnot, there's so much, the dynamics and the mind of a kid, it's just mind-blowing, it's beautiful. And if you reverently get to be in that position of teaching and learning, I tell you the truth, these kids are bright, these kids are amazing. You learn so much from these kids. The first thing that I learned from my students was patience. I learned to be patient. I learned to be patient, guys. Kids will humble you. Okay, 25 of them, like in one space like this, 25 of them, they will humble you. All right, so lesson number 2, kids are very smart. Honestly, kids know a lot, and you have to appreciate when they give you their opinion. You have to appreciate when they give you their thoughts, you know. And this is one of the things that you have to do as a teacher or as a parent or as a caretaker. Ask them, ask kids, ask students what's in their mind, you know. What would they like for you to do for them, so as to learn better, as to grasp stuff better. Kids will amaze you, you know. So kids are very smart, they're different, yet they are all intelligent in some way, they're all talented in some way, and you have to appreciate all of them the same way. Okay, don't take sides. And then lesson number 3 is being observant, you know, and being mindful. Being observant in the manner that, you know, everything that I've been saying actually is just it shows that I've actually been observant. I've actually learned to be observant, you know, because when you first start, you generalize these people like, it's my class, it's the 1Cs, it's the 5As. You don't see Josejo, you don't see Taboka, you know, you don't see this person. You just see them as a class and as a group of people, and you take away their experiences, you take away their traumas, you take away their happiness, you take away their struggles, and then you put them here on some way or some pedestal, and then you say, give my 5A, you know, and then you disregard everything that you took away from them. You took away all the experiences, and then you put them here, and then you try to teach them, try to give them education, knowledge, you know, you try to empower them. But if you find yourself being like that, you know that you are not achieving anything as a teacher, you're not achieving anything as a service provider. Okay, so being observant is being mindful of the fact that one child has experienced trauma. You have to respect that one child is slow. You have to respect that one child is fast in grasping concept and content, and you have to accommodate all these kids together, you know. So if there's one thing that the kids have taught me is being observant, is being mindful of the people in my surrounding, and knowing what they want and how I can help them as individuals, not just a classified group of people. Right. The fourth thing that I learned is that honestly, a man's word is his bond. You know, it's a quote. I don't remember where I got it from, but I remember it from, I think, from church or somewhere. But it says that a man's word is his bond. which basically means that whatever you say and agree with another person, the words that you speak are actually the ones that bind you. You have set a contract through your words. And now kids, kids will hold you to that, you know. I remember I made a promise to the kids. I told them I'm gonna buy them cake when school closes. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, but they kept disappointing me in class, and I was like, I'm not getting you a cake. But they were like, you promised, ma'am, teacher, but you promised. And I saw how they were serious about that, and I thought, you know what? Honestly, when you say something to someone, follow it up, live up to the words that you say, because your words are a contract that you have set with another person, and they are very important in relationships, you know, in nurturing good relationships. Your words or your promises, verbal contract, is very important. So the kids have actually taught me that it is important to keep your promise so that you can be trustworthy. Now, the fifth and final thing that I learned is honesty. Okay? Guys, if you want to have a good relationship with your students, if you want to have a good relationship with people, if you want to have good relationships with your customers, if you're a business person, honesty. Be honest. How did I learn honesty in class? Well, it's like this. Kids listen. Like I said when we started, kids are very smart, like I said. So, the kids will remind you that, ma'am, but this is what you said. Now, when you're dealing with kids, it's the small things. You know, when you say something like this today, and then tomorrow you change, they're going to hold you to it. Remember, your word is your bond. Remember, these are kids. They're very smart. So, when you say something, you have to be careful what you're communicating with the kids, or else they will incriminate you tomorrow. Okay? Or else they will incriminate you tomorrow. So honesty is one of those key elements that I learned during my teaching practice. Be honest with the kids. Tell them that today I am very tired, kids, but we're gonna push through anyway. Tell them today I feel so excited to be here with you, and I'm gonna be excited with you, you know. Above all, I think my journey starting as an unprofessional teacher to a professional teacher, which I will be very soon, I'm quite grateful. I'm quite thankful to God for all the experiences, and I'm also grateful that He called me unqualified as I was, and He qualified me and helped me. So if there's like one thing that I'm like super excited about, I'm happy about my experience as a teacher, you know, and something that is beautiful that I love to remember is that every time, whenever I was in class, if I was too tired in the morning or sometimes too angry, you know, sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of bed. When I get into school and I'm like angry and I'm there or too busy in the morning, you know, marking books like this, and then the kids will remind me, teacher, we didn't have assembly, teacher, we didn't pray, and my heart would just melt. I'm like, I taught them well, you know. So be proud, you know, like leave a mark, leave a beautiful mark wherever you go. So the last thing that I will share with you is this beautiful verse that I taught my kids, and every time I would say the single phrase from the verse, they would finish it and then tell where it is from the Bible. I'd say, children, and then they said, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6 verse 1. It was just a beautiful thing. And That's something that I actually also found amazing. When you have a relationship with God and then you teach your children to have a relationship with God, not with the church but with God, you find that, oh, you can do anything, you can do everything through Christ who gives you the strength, who gives your strength the strength. You will excel both academically, spiritually, and mentally. Your kids will grow in all those aspects because you're originally. All right, with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to listening to my tales. Thank you for listening to my story. Please tune in to the next video and like, share, subscribe, or leave a comment about what is the best thing about your teacher. If you're a student, what do you remember about your teacher when you were a student? And if you are an aspiring teacher, ask any question and I will assist. All right, thank you so much. Bye.